Hi guys, Joss Allen from GAK.co.uk. Today has been a gift-giving day from the guys at Roland. I have had so many cool things to check out today and do videos on. First we did the Blues Cube Hot, and now we are checking out Boss's brand new vibrato pedal, the VB-2W. So this pedal only needs a small introduction. It is what it says on the tin. It's a vibrato pedal, but it is part of the new Wasa Craft. So it's an all-analog vibrato pedal, which is a very, very cool thing. So let's run through the front panel of this said pedal. So on my far left here, we have the rate knob. And then moving along, we have the depth knob. And then we have the rise time. And then we have the mode selector. We've got latch, bypass, and unlatch. And I'm going to run through a couple of those. And then the switch at the bottom here, we have the standard mode, which is based off the original VB2. And then we have the custom mode, which almost is just basically more aggressive vibrato sounds. So we're going to look at three different sort of sounds on this. We're going to look at a standard vibrato sound, or what I would call a standard vibrato sound. Then we're going to do a really sort of tame one, and then we're going to go to the extremes and see what we can actually pull out of the pedal. So I'm using this Fender American Standard Strat with custom shop pickups. It is a HSS model, as you can see, but I'm probably going to stay within the neck pickup and sort of the selection down just from the neck pickup. I'm running the pedal through the Roland Blues Cube Hot, and it is just set to clean. Let me just turn that off, and this is the sort of tone we're getting from the guitar and the amp itself. So, and a very, very clean tone from this guitar and this amplifier. So let's go with the first setting that I've made, which is and we're switched between standard and custom as well, so you can hear the sounds. So let's start with standard. I've got basically everything. Well, the rate and depth just under 12 o'clock, and I had the rise time set at 12. So let's see what. Oh, and the mode is on the latching. So that means that when you push it down, it stays on. So let's check that out. So this is my kind of standard vibrato sound. So that was a standard sort of vibrato setting to me on the standard mode. So let's switch it to the custom and see how the actual vibrato sound changes. So you can almost create a chorusing sort of sound out of it. It gives that out of tune, sort of out of phase thing that a chorus pedal can do. So the cool thing about the vibrato is that not only can you achieve your vibrato sounds, but you can also achieve small amounts of chorusing on there. So let's tame it down a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to back off on the rate and I'm going to back off on the depth quite a bit, bring the rise time up and switch it to standard. What that allows it to do, it almost gives you this old school tape deck sort of sound to it. Like when you play an old cassette. Like I got so many different cassettes still at home, and when I stick in, say, something like a George Thorogood cassette, should I say, sorry, it gives this almost sort of, it's hard to explain, but it has this sort of sound to it, so check it out. So you can hear it there, you can just about hear the vibrato, but it sounds like an old school sort of tape player. Now let's move it to the custom setting, and you probably might be able to hear that sort of, the sound that I'm trying to explain a little bit more. So it's still incredibly subtle, but it's a lot more prominent in the tone. Personally, I can hear it a lot more when it's on the custom setting. Now let's go to the extremes of what this pedal can really achieve, and let's crank the rate and depth. So that is quite an extreme tremolo. Let's bring the rate right up, switch it to the custom, and it should be even more. Quite an extreme amount of vibrato there. I'm not sure where you would use it, but I'm sure someone out there has found a use for that sort of setting. It almost gives that whole crazy jazz fusion feel to things. What we also can do is, if you add a touch of reverb from an amp, well I say a touch, if you add a lot of reverb from an amplifier and use this setting, you become almost outworldly sort of sound. So let's check that out. I'm going to crank the reverb that's on board the amplifier. So that is the Boss VB-2W, the brand new vibrato pedal from Roland. The other sort of switching capabilities as well, as I said, we're on latch. If you go on unlatching, it has this awesome function where, say, there's only a small section of the song that needs to have vibrato on it, and you don't want to have to push it down and then turn it off again. You can use it as that. So if I play a note, I think that's a really, really cool function to have on this pedal. So there you go. That's the Boss Vibrato, the VB2W, the Wasa Craft vibrato pedal. Cheers, guys.